Welcome to the August 21st, 2020 video version of the Wagner Daily. My name is Rick Petticelli, and as usual, this report replaces the written commentary portion of our newsletter. Hopefully this offers a nice change of pace, as well as some insight as to how we set up our charts, what time frames and indicators we use. First, we're going to cover the NASDAQ composite, then open positions in the model portfolio, and finally we'll get into potential setups during the next few days. So first up, the NASDAQ composite, which remains in a strong uptrend. There was some distribution on Wednesday, but Thursday's gap down reversal took care of that, and the NASDAQ moved to new highs. Just a strong index right now. Not much to say other than don't try to call a top. Also remain disciplined with entries. If you chase stocks well beyond a logical buy point, you could find yourself in no man's land with regard to stop placement. You might end up placing stops that are too tight and then get stopped out only to see the price action reverse back higher. So just make sure to keep discipline with the entries. On to open positions in the model portfolio. Currently we are long CRWD from an entry around 107 here as it reclaimed the 50-day MA. And it reports earnings on 9/2, so we'll have to deal with earnings as well as this downtrend line. But if we can have a decent profit buffer heading into the report, we'll likely hold through earnings in anticipation of some sort of gap up to new highs, or at the very least the price action holding above the 50-day MA. Lulu, we're long from around 330-ish, up about 10%. Nothing to do right now. Strong uptrend, looking pretty good. Amazon, we just purchased over 3,200, or I believe 3,220, looking pretty good. I believe it can still be added to for those who are long or could establish an entry over the 3-day high. And we still have a half position in pins. This was a disappointing false breakout on Wednesday, followed by an undercut of the past few days worth of lows. However, the reversal candle from 8/12 is still holding. We'll have to see if it can hold up on Friday. And we just stopped out of CRISPR, which looked really good. Wednesday, big volume breakout. Volume was 100% of its average by the first hour of trading. Normally this is a pretty good sign of a strong breakout. However, the price closed well off the highs on Wednesday, which was forgivable due to the weakness in the broad market averages. But today's weakness was out of the ordinary as most indices were up. And there was really no weakness in XBI, the biotech ETF, which closed about flat on the day. This was a pretty ugly sell-off, and we stopped out of CRISPR below 93, and we're fully out of the position. We'll keep CRISPR on the watch list. Not an actionable one right now for us, but we'll have to see how it trades over the next week or two, see if it can work off the recent selling. And our last position is in NVTA, which we just entered on Thursday over the 2-bar high. This looks pretty good. Break of the downtrend line here with the 5, 10, and 20-day EMAs all rising. The short-term uptrend right here. So looking pretty good as long as it holds above 31. And the weekly looks nice here. Breakout to new highs, followed by tight sideways action that allowed the rising 10-week MA to catch up. And if we pan out, let's go to the monthly. And this could be a move to new all-time highs if it can break above the current base high. So no overhead resistance. Well, with a lot of chop here, several years of chop could lead to an explosive breakout. As for potential buy setups during the next few days, we already mentioned Amazon and NVTA. Carvana possibly in play for a pop above the 3-day high here. For the more adventurous trader, MRNA on a break of this downtrend line over the 3-day high and the 50-day MA. PTON. Tight little bull flag pattern here off the 20 could be in play either over the 2-day high or over the 3-day high. BILI also potentially in play over the 2-bar high. However, earnings are in 826. So that would be next Wednesday, I believe. NetEase also looking pretty good. VCP pattern, basically have a 13-14% pullback, 7% pullback, and a 2 to 3% pullback here. So the entry would be over this final tightening. NIO, another VCP-like pullback. There's a 35% correction, an 18, and if Thursday's low holds, possibly an 8% or 9% correction. So that could potentially be in play above the 3-day high as well. All right, so that's a wrap for tonight's video. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.